The bank's MD and CEO, Adesola Adeduntan, joined me to discuss the significance of this seminar and more. Have a look.
For us as FirstBank, because we are a Pan-African bank with headquarters in Nigeria, each time we look at our operations in other jurisdictions, what we discover is that most of those jurisdictions, they are 10, 15 years behind where we are as a country. So we believe that as a leading financial institution on the continent of Africa, one of the things we could do in all those locations where we are present is work with the operators and regulators in those locations and help them to shape their policy and strategy as far as digitization, digital payment is concerned. We believe that we have a good story to tell from what has happened in Nigeria over the last 10 years especially, and we feel that we are better positioned, given our Pan-African mandate, to assist them to chart a way forward. So that's the significance. We want all the African countries to also move, if not at the same pace with Nigeria, move equally at a fast pace. We also believe that, given the fact that we do have homegrown experience in Nigeria, we can assist those countries to leapfrog what is possible in the Western world. So if it's taken Nigeria 10 years to get to where we are today, with the kind of knowledge, with the kind of capabilities that are now available within Nigeria and the larger African continent, we believe that these countries can leapfrog, and maybe instead of taking 10 years, we'll probably take them 5 years. We also believe that one of the ways by which Africa will be able to address poverty is financial inclusion. One of the ways to quickly promote financial inclusion is through digital payment. And if poverty alleviation is one of the key things that we need to address on the continent of Africa, then we submit that digital banking, digital payment is an important pillar of that poverty alleviation.
So across the room, sir, during the presentations earlier, we were privy to see that FirstBank was able to actually drag into the room men from all over, regulators, participants across payment solutions, provisions across the sub-Saharan Africa, in line with FirstBank's Pan-African mandate. Now, speak to me on what strategies the bank will be directly employing to improve financial inclusion and fintech in Nigeria.
As I speak today, FirstBank, by any measure, has been a success story as far as digital banking is concerned. Today, we have more than 8.5 million people on our USSD banking platform. We have about 3 million people on our First Mobile platform. We are the only bank that has issued cards in excess of 10 million in Nigeria. So when you're looking at that institution that has achieved a lot in terms of digital payment, is FirstBank. Indeed, as we speak to you today, more than 80% of our customer-induced transactions are carried out on alternative channels, i.e., when you look at the volume of transactions going through our bank, more than 80% are carried out on channels rather than through our branches, brick and mortar, and that's quite significant. More importantly, we've been very aggressive with our FirstBank agent banking network. Today, we have over 27,000 agents spread across the nooks and crannies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that is second to none as far as this country is concerned. We have a target, we are not relenting, and we're sure of where we'll go. For us at FirstBank, we've always emphasized that profitability is very important, but economic growth and development, assisting our country and continent at large to address poverty, is also very important to us. And that's why for us, financial inclusion is a key part of our business strategy.
In line with your mandate, like you said earlier, to increase and improve financial inclusion across Nigeria and across Africa, where you have FirstBank branches cited. And we also saw here earlier representation by NIBS and InterSwitch. Speak to me on the nature of collaborations and interactions that FirstBank has had to involve itself in to be able to fulfill this mandate of improving financial inclusion.
As you've just rightly mentioned, NIBS is the National switch in Nigeria. NIPS is owned by the central bank and banks. We've been on the board of NIPS for as long as I can remember, and that is because it's not just because of our equity stake, it's also because we are the dominant player in the payment industry, so we are represented there. We also used to be a key shareholder of InterSwitch, even though now we've divested, but we were part and parcel of InterSwitch's success. We were there right from the onset, and we worked with them to get to where they are today. So the payment ecosystem is very important. There are different players, operators, switches, other service providers, the central bank as a regulator, the NCC. The most important thing is for us to be able to forge and create an ecosystem that allows for innovation, allows for growth, and then it's also secure. Because if you have a payment system where our people don't have the confidence in terms of the transaction they're conducting, either they're afraid of fraud or they're afraid that the value will not be received, then we have a problem. So it's still work in progress. As you heard from the plenary session, we've been quite successful as a country. But if you also look at the 5-year agenda of the governor of the central bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, advancing on the payment infrastructure is also a key part of that 5-year strategy. And we, as one of the significant systemically important banks, we will continue to work with the governor of the central bank in that regard.
So talking people solution and people confidence, like you referred to earlier, what are your books saying about to what extent Nigerians actually do embrace the payment solutions that you offer?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. Like I mentioned to you, when I look back at the FirstBank story, to use that as an example, 2015, we had barely 30% of our customer in this transaction going through channels. Today, we have over 80%. That is phenomenal. And I'm aware that the overall volume of transactions, either by value or by volume, across all the switches in Nigeria, they've all gone up in geometric proportions. And that speaks about the fact that our people are becoming more and more comfortable with the e-payment system. Like I said, this is the cardinal pillar of the 5-year agenda of the governor, who has just returned to office for his second term, and I'm fully involved. I know we are all working very hard to take the payment sector to the next level.